Hi everybody, welcome to module 2 and what is law of attraction. Now, module 1 we spoke about the power of law of attraction and how you harness the power in order to achieve whatever you want in life. Now we're going to look at what is law of attraction and the principles governing law of attraction. Yeah. According to Michael J. Losier, from his book Law of Attraction, he says law of attraction is I attract into my life whatever I give attention, energy, and focus, whether it's negative or positive. I repeat, I attract into my life. So we attract into our life whatever we give attention, energy, and focus in terms of our thoughts, in terms of feelings, in terms of our actions. But anything that you're giving attention, energy, and focus will come into your life, whether it's positive or negative. Now, that's where the danger is, because most of the time, a lot of us give a lot of attention, energy, and focus for negative things. If you read newspaper, you get a lot of negative things. If you watch news, you get a lot of negative things. If you mix with the wrong people, you get a lot of negative vibes. So if you give attention and energy and focus to those things, then you get negative things. So one of the ways that I have found out that you could change that is obviously choose the friends you want. Um, don't listen or don't watch the news. Don't read the newspaper, which I don't. I don't watch the news as well. Because you see, I believe that our subconscious mind is like a garden, and you need to protect your garden. You want to make sure you've got roses and flowers over there and not weeds and, that grows over there. And in order to make sure that there are no weeds, you need to ensure that you are continuously focused on positive things. And when I say positive things, we are talking about, of course, it's not easy, right? Because on a day-to-day basis, you meet so many people, you have so many things happening in your life. But what you could possibly do is that you could work on the principles of law of attraction. Use affirmations, vision board, use visualization, which I'm going to talk to you shortly, for you to be able to ensure that you are able to attract into your life only that positive things, because you only give attention, energy, and focus to these positive things. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some examples and how this happens in our life. Yeah. And this happens all the time, so I just want to show you some examples how it's happening. For example, when you think of somebody, that's how law of attraction works. Remember, whatever you give attention, energy, and focus comes to your life, correct? So if you're thinking of somebody, and sometimes you think of your mom, for example, and all of a sudden your mom calls you and says, "Hey, are you okay?" And if you're sick, for example, I remember your mom makes good chicken soup for you to get well, and your mom calls you and said, "Are you okay?" And you said, "Wow, how did my mom know that I'm thinking of her?" Well, the reason is, of course, because your mom carried you for 9 months before you're born. So there's this vibration between your mom, the connection between your mom. Similarly, if you spend time thinking, I mean, honestly, if you were to sit down today and think of a friend of yours, maybe from 10 years, 20 years from today ago, and you just think of this friend and think of him in a positive way of wanting to see him. I bet on it that within the next 10 to 20 days, you will come across with this person who knows someone, or you'll come across with this person directly, because you're thinking of him. And it come through Facebook, it could come through anything. But try. It really, really works, because when you think of somebody, they appear in your life. You know, a lot of time we think of somebody you don't like, and I'll talk to you about it shortly. But I think if you always think of someone, when you've got this, lovers, boyfriends and girlfriends, and a special friend, they think of them, and the person calls, and people say, "Oh my God, I just thought of you, and you called me." Well, the reason, because the energy is very strong, because the souls are connected, because you think of somebody. That's one example, yeah. Another example of how this attention, energy, and focus works is, I don't know whether you've ever come across this, but I think a lot of people have. When you want to buy a car, you think about buying a new car, right? So for example, you say, "Oh, I like this. I want to buy this BMW, or Mercedes, or this Lexus, whatever car, or a Honda, I want to buy a Honda Accord, And you look at the thing, you think of the car, you think about the make of the car, you think of the color of the car, and all of a sudden you happen to see the car everywhere you go. You go to shopping center, you see the car, you see a neighbor driving the car, and you go and park your car, and somebody parks next to your car, and that's the car, your dream car. And you'll say, oh my God, what's happening to me? Well, just wanted to clarify, right, how law of attraction works. In our brain, we have something called a reticle activation system. Okay, reticle activating system. It's like a GPS actually. Reticle activation system is whereby when you give attention, energy, and focus on something, or just like the way you key into your GPS, where you want to go, you are taken to that place. So similarly, if you think of somebody or you think of a particular car, you're putting it in your reticular activation system, and what your reticular activation system will do will find ways and means to get it to you. So, like I mentioned to you, law of attraction works for negative and positive. If you look at your day on a daily basis, are you thinking of positive things or negative things? For example, are you thinking about lots of money? Or are you thinking about the bills to pay? Are you thinking about the loans to settle? Are you thinking about the financial issues you have? Are you thinking about the debts that you have? Are you thinking about the friends you don't like or the friends you like? Which brings me to the next one. Most of the time, we think of people you don't like. For example, you don't like somebody in your office, and you just tell yourself when you get up and go to the office and say, I hope I don't see him. As you enter the office, he's standing right at the door, and you say, oh my God, I don't want to see him, I see him. Or you don't like a particular customer, maybe you're in a customer service and you meet people. So you tell yourself, I hope this customer doesn't come to me. I hope I don't see him. And you go to the office and the first customer you see is the same person, and you say, oh my God. Or you don't like a relative of yours, and you go for a function and you say, I hope I don't see this uncle or aunt or this person, and you actually see them again and again, and they bump into you again, and you say, oh my God, what is happening to me? Well, what you don't realize is you have activated your reticular activation system by giving attention, energy, and focus. So what law of attraction is for you to understand is that you'll get whatever you're thinking. So I will teach you how to reprogram the way you think, and that's what you're going to do in module 4. Yeah, how to reprogram the way you think so that you can actually manifest the things you want, not that what you don't want. Idiots on the road. Well, this is a story. Well, it happened in Malaysia anyway. There's this lady who got into the car, and she had a 3-year-old daughter in the car with her. As she was driving, and this 3-year-old girl asked and said, Mommy, how come there are no idiots on the road today? And the mother looked at her and said, excuse me, what are you talking about? Why are you calling people idiots? What's wrong with you? And she says, no, Mommy, whenever Daddy drives the car, there are so many idiots on the road, everywhere there are idiots, and I've seen it so often. And for a moment, the mother thought about it and thought, oh my God, because what actually happens is probably when the dad is driving the car and the girl is sitting, and the dad is probably cursing everybody, and he says, oh, look at that idiot in front of me, or look at that idiot at the side of me, or look at that idiot. So the dad only looks at all those people who are not driving the way you want them to drive. So he looks at them as idiots. And so the girl has picked it up and say, oh my God, there are so many idiots on the road. But you see, when the mom is not looking for idiots, mom is just doing a job, she's just driving, she doesn't see the idiots, because it's like that. When you go out there and you look for road bullies, or you look for people who are, idiots on the road, you'll find idiots on the road. Because whatever you give attention, energy, and focus will come to you. Many people say that, if I drink coffee, I can't sleep. If I would ask, all of you who are watching, how many of you drink, if you drink coffee, you can't sleep? Quite a number of you will put up your hand. But you know what? If you drink coffee and you can't sleep, then everybody will put up their hand. But it's not so. Many people can drink coffee and go to sleep. But some people drink coffee, they don't go to sleep. And they say, well, I cannot sleep because I drank coffee. Or I drink coffee so I can stay awake. Well, let me tell you what's happened. Actually, coffee doesn't deprive you of your sleep. Coffee doesn't. What would happen is that people have told you if you drink coffee, you can stay awake. Or there's one fine day you couldn't sleep and you were thinking, why is it that I can't sleep? And you realized that you had taken coffee maybe a couple of hours earlier, and you said, oh my God, I drank coffee today, no wonder I can't sleep. So what's happening is you've programmed yourself. You've just gone to program yourself to say, oh, I can't sleep because I drank coffee. And what you do is you go on to do this again and again. Another day you've taken coffee after dinner and you say, oh my God, I drank coffee today. Surely I can't go to sleep today because I drank coffee. That's a programming. And after a while you tell all your friends, you know what, if I drink coffee, I can't sleep. You know what, if I don't want to sleep, I drink coffee. You know what, if I want to stay awake at night, I drink coffee. So you have programmed yourself so much so your subconscious brain has picked it up. Now once your subconscious brain has picked it up, What it means is every time you drink the coffee, the subconscious mind ensures that you don't sleep. And that's basically what happens. Get sick if you get wet in the rain. Now, let me explain. In the Asian culture, at least, yeah, a lot of people don't like to get wet in the rain or play in the rain and whatever. I mean, there are songs that people sing about dancing in the rain and singing in the rain. But a lot of people don't get wet in the rain, don't like to get wet in the rain because they say if they get wet in the rain, they get a flu, or they get a cough or they get a fever. If you have children, for example, you've got a 6-year-old, 7-year-old children where they are very impressionable. Now they could play in the rain the whole day and come back, they would not get sick. But as a mother or a mother or a father, let's say they get wet in the rain, even for a short while, even for 5 minutes, and they just got out of school, they got out of the car and they got wet in the rain, they come back. Then you look at them and say, okay, you got wet in the rain? Oh my God, I think you're going to get a flu now. Now, a small girl, a boy, at impressionable age, so the moment the mom says that you got in the rain, you're going to get sick, it goes into their brain that, oh my God, I'm going to get flu because I got wet in the rain. And true enough, 2 hours later, they're sniffing, and the mom says, there you go, you got wet in the rain, you are now sniffing, you got a flu. You know what? In a couple of hours, you're going to be coughing because that's what's going to happen. And a couple of hours later, the girl or boy goes coughing. And you say, there you go. You've got a cough. And you know what? Chances are you're going to get a fever today because now you've got flu and you're coughing. And at night, the boy or girl will come to mom and say, Mom, Dad, I don't feel so good because I think I've got a fever. Now, was the fever created, the flu, cough, and the fever created by the rain? No. If you just play in the rain and you come back and have a shower, you would not get sick at all. But these young kids come back, and what the mom and dad has done is that they've told the kids, because you've got wet in the rain, you'll get flu, you're going to get cough, you're going to get fever. And their subconscious brain is very susceptible. And when they accept it into their brain, automatically, when it rains, they'll get sick. Why? Because they believe so. This is where the beliefs comes in. Though it's a limiting belief, but when it's a belief, and you believe it, it will happen. Just like the coffee. If you believe if I drink coffee, I can't sleep, it will happen. Financial situation. Why are there so many people with financial problems? Very simple, because on a day-to-day basis, when somebody asks you, how are you? And you say, broke. How are you? Well, surviving. How are you? Oh, I'm okay. Now, surviving, broke, I'm okay. Everything is complaining to the universe, you don't have enough. Now, why would money stick to you when you are constantly affirming to the universe you don't have enough? So now what happens is, because you say I'm surviving, money will come. Loads of money will come. But it will be just enough for you to survive, because expenses will also come to deprive you of the money, because your affirmation is, I'm surviving. How are you? Okay. So okay is just, so. Okay is just, I'm there, but I'm not rich. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of people don't realize this. So on a day-to-day basis, we are affirming all the time. So as you affirm, how are you? I'm surviving. You're telling your reticle activation system, I'm just surviving. And therefore, the reticle activation system makes sure you survive. And it's something you don't realize. So financial problems are created by you. A lot of people who say, you know what? No matter how much I spend, I've got so much money. Money comes to me in multiple sources. I have plenty to spend. I've got so much of resources. It is always there for me. Somehow or other, money looks for me. All these are positive affirmations, and they become a belief. So you got to be careful. I want to just tell you, most of you don't even realize this, that a lot of people actually married to people they didn't like initially. Again, it's law of attraction. When you were young, or when you're looking to get married, or when you are looking for a partner, you will say things like, I don't want a smoker, or I don't want a playboy, I don't want a person of another religion, or another citizen, or another country, or whatever. But every time you say, I don't want this, I don't want that, you will be actually focusing on that person. I've seen it many, many times. I've seen many people who are married to people they don't like. I have many examples of people who say, oh my God, I'm actually married to this guy. I didn't like him at all. Because I used to tell everyone, oh my God, this guy is so arrogant, so arrogant. Now, the problem is this, whenever you say, I don't like the guy, well, the brain does not understand the function of don't. For example, if I tell all of you, can every one of you close your eyes? All of you, just for a moment, if you're listening to me, close your eyes, just close your eyes, and I say, don't think of a white elephant wearing red boots. Don't think of a white elephant wearing red boots. Now, please open your eyes. Now, what did you see? Every one of you saw a red elephant wearing red boots, a white elephant wearing red boots. Well, what happened? Because when I said don't think, that's what he thought. So when you say I don't like a person, what actually happened was you started to like that person. After a while, your brain does not know, because since you think of this person so often, whatever you give attention, energy, and focus is attracted to you. After a while, you cannot sleep without this person, you cannot live without this person, and there you go. You fall in love and get married. So that's what happens. So these are just examples on how law of attraction works. Now, you need to understand how powerful this is, because our body has got 75 trillion cells. Each cell in our body is a living cell. And sometimes you don't realize that the words that we say, the feelings that we have, the thoughts that we have affects this water, and 70% of body is water. I like this example because then you know how we transform and how we create life that we are living. Dr. Emoto from Japan made and did experiments, and what he did was he took water. He actually decided to freeze them into crystals and look at them under a microscope. And he realized that water crystals are affected by emotion, and even words and thoughts can change the crystal of water. So you must remember something. So if you keep thinking about illness, you become ill. Why? Because 70% of your body is water, and water is affected by the words, thoughts, and your emotion. When you say I'm broke, 70% of your body is water, so your entire body reacts to that. You know, have you heard of the people saying that if you are stressed, you probably attract illnesses? True, because 70% of your body is water, and you have 75 trillion cells in your body, and every cell is affected by emotion, words, and thoughts. And let's look at the experiment that Dr. Emoto did, right? What he did was he took a little bit of water from a river, a very dirty river in Japan. They decided to freeze the water, looked under the microscope, and this is what happened. It looked really bad. Then they took the same water, but this time what they did, they gave to monks to pray. You know, you go to a church, you get holy water. You go to a mosque, you get holy water. You go to a temple, you get holy water. Holy water is basically water that is being prayed upon. There are certain priests or someone who recites certain prayers to cleanse the water. And they did that in Japan. And look at the water. The water crystal changed, and it looks so beautiful. So you can see words, thoughts, and feelings actually change the dynamics, the constitution of the water. Look at this. They had 2 containers of water. They took out this container. On one container, they wrote the word, "You make me sick and I will kill you." And after a couple of weeks, they took the water to look under the microscope, and this is how it looked like. They also did another experiment where they took another container of water and they put the word, "I love you" or "I appreciate you." And after a couple of weeks, they took the water and looked under the microscope, and this is how it looked. Frozen piece of crystal, yeah? Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Now, these 2 words, Adolf Hitler and dirty, both constitutes negative thoughts. And look at water; it looks bad. But on the other hand, when you look at the word thank you and beautiful, both connotes beautiful things. And look at the water, look at the crystal. Both are beautiful, right? So it's very important for you to understand that what you say, what you think, what you feel will actually affect you. And it affects your vibrations. It affects your entire process of attracting what you want and manifesting your miracles. You can try it on food. In Malaysia, well, I've got a couple of friends who came over for my training, some of my graduates. So this lady who came and she cooked rice and she put it into containers. One container, she wrote the word, I love you. And of course, she wrote it in Chinese because she's a Chinese lady. Another one, she wrote the word, I hate you and I kill you. And she left them, both these containers in the freezer, not freezer rather, in the fridge. And she took it out 3 weeks later. And this is what happened. The one that says I love you looked like this, and the one that had the words I hate you looks like this. Can you see the difference? They are both the same rice that has been cooked, same container kept in the fridge, and the only difference is the words. Let's look at another one. Same thing. Cooked rice, one had the word I love you, one had the I love you, both kept in the fridge, taken 3 weeks later. Now you must understand something. You can see that water condensation because they kept in the fridge and took it out. Yeah, you can leave it outside as well. It doesn't make a difference whether you keep it in the fridge or keep it outside. You'll still see that words would actually affect the constitution of the rice because there are water molecules, and therefore it will change. This is bread, white bread. Also same thing, kept in 2 containers. One had the word I hate you, one had the word I love you, and taken and looked at 3 weeks later. Well, this is in Malay language. One says I love you, thank you, love. Another one says I hate you, go and die. Same thing, 3 weeks later. Of course, on the right is the negative one. Yeah. This is again rice kept in 2 containers, and as you can see, the one that says I love you, this was done actually last in the month of July 2020. It says I hate you and I'm going to kill you. Look at that, the mold that has been already there, and look at the one that says I love you, you're important to me. Well, it's a bit moldy, not so much, but you can see how the one that says I hate you and I'm going to kill you is bad. This was also done in the month of July. Again, you can see the person started writing on the 18th of July, and she had 2 pieces of bread. One she wrote, I love you, you're important to me. Another one she put there, I hate you, I'm going to kill you. 24th of July, you can see that there's a bit of mold there on the one on the right, which is I hate you. But you can look at it on the 26th of July, the one that it says I hate you and I'm going to kill you is very moldy. As you can see, this is the effect of it. Yeah. Again, another person had 2 pieces of bread. One on the left, she wrote that I hate you, I'm going to kill you. Another one, she wrote, I hate you, you're important to me. As you can see, this was about a week later. You can see the one that says I hate you is totally moldy, it's gone bad as compared to the one on the right. Another one, I hate you and please go die, has got molds. All this, the only difference is wordings. The piece of bread is the same, kept at the same conditions, kept in the same place, but the words were different on each container, and this is what happened. Another one, I don't love you, I will kill you, and compared to the one that says I love you, as you can see, the one that I love you is not as bad. Yeah. This is another one, same thing. 9th of July, 2 pieces of bread looks the same. On the 22nd of July, as you can see on the right hand side, I hate you looks bad. Now, just to test it, is the water really powerful? Because I keep saying that water has got thoughts, words, and energy, right? So an experiment was done overseas as well. What they did was they got 2 potted plants and they decided to pour water into the plants. And on the right hand side, they put purified water. Another one, they had microwave water. Of course, they didn't pour the hot water. They let it cool down, and they put the microwave water. Now, if you microwaved anything, it had intense heat. And obviously, when you microwave water, everything dies. Every bit of energy dies in it. So a cell dies. Now, so they did an experiment. So they decided to microwave the water and pour onto the plant. One is cool. Like I said, it's not hot water. They cool off the water and then they pour. And what happened was, on the 9th day, the plant which has got the microwave water has actually died. Wow, look at that. Now you can understand the importance of words, thoughts, and feelings, because 70 to 80% of our body is water, and we use water to show this example. But more importantly, we are a human being with living cells, 75 trillion cells. Every cell is affected by the words, thoughts, and deeds. Now, question is, what are you saying on a daily basis? So, what I'm going to do is that we're going to do module 3. In module 3, I'm going to tell you how our subconscious mind has been programmed and how do we reprogram it in order for you to manifest miracles. I hope you're impressed so far. Join me for module 3, and I will teach you, starting with module 4, how to reprogram. But module 3, I'm going to show you a video, and I'm going to show you a video on how this man who the doctors mentioned as going to be a vegetable for the rest of your life because he met an accident, he had used the law of attraction in order to be able to walk out of the hospital. within a couple of months. So join me for module 3 as soon as you can. Thank you.